The film is about two people that are on a road trip that you are led to believe are brothers, and you start to unravel both of their pasts, and you realize that not all is what it seems to be. The mysterious element of surprise and the depth of characters. I think when you care about characters and you unravel who they are, then you kind of you're on track to making a good thriller. I love Stephen King's The Shining. I love the movie, I love Stanley Kubrick, but I think it's mostly because of this duality, of this human being that is seeing the world one way, but it's really another way. I think that's really kind of special. Because you start to learn who these two people are.
Yes.
And I think if you're going on a road trip with someone you know, or you don't know, and you start to learn things about that person in a negative way, the road trip can become scary. Well, he's an amazing actor, and I think that he brings like a quality of realism, and I think when you're in that world and he is portraying something that is so dynamic that you get to easily react to the things that he's doing, and that shows you as how talented he really is, and so working with him was really pleasurable, as an actor, because he has so much depth as a human being. I was said earlier, it's funny because people say, oh, you were friends or you hung out before, and we did, but it wasn't about that, I think sometimes people can be on set and play lovers, man, female, male, male, female, female, and they could hate each other, but there's a chemistry, and that chemistry comes from something that you can't explain. And I think it's when you are fully immersed in something, a character or a situation, that you are able to react, in a different way, and that's what James does. He was so immersed in that character that he and I really played in those scenes really well. I think for me, when I was young, it was more, I was very excited to be able to experience different things. My first movie I did was this TV film called Tom Brown's School Days, and it was set in the early 1900s, and kind of being on those old sets and exploring that time was kind of like magical for me. And then I did a big movie after that called Stormbreaker, and I was on quad bikes and motorcycles and jumping through the air, and I was just a kid, and kind of enjoying that experience. And I think that I was very, very lucky to be able to do the activities in the films. It was not necessarily work. It was kind of like almost playing in your back garden, but with toys. I've played even though I've not probably a lot of people, but I've played quite a few different characters. I think I'd like to play someone more extravagant, or more flamboyant is the wrong word, because people might perceive that differently, but more like how Brad Pitt was in Fight Club. He was quite flamboyant and like quite, I think a lot of my characters are quite stoic. They're quite like shut off, but deep, and I'd like to be more theatrical. I did kind of do that in Time. This movie I did. He was quite out there, but more. I would like to be more theatrical. Well, the only reason I would or do any modelling is because I'm an actor. So I'm not really versed in the modelling world, but I think that the creation of fashion and the creation of movements in the fashion world are very similar as to try and create trends in the film industry. And I think the links are that us as characters are defined emotionally sometimes by how we feel in the way that we dress, and I think that's kind of a link. I think more casual chic is kind of a great trend, but I like people like Alain Delon's style. I love road trip. I used to be very, very scared of flying.
Okay.
And so I would drive everywhere. And so I drove across America 12 times.
Okay.
From Los Angeles to New York, from Miami to New Orleans to LA. You know, many times I've traveled because I didn't want to fly. And I find it very peaceful. You know, driving, listening to music, looking and just being with your thoughts. So I think it's magical. But I used to do road trips with my family. My dad used to have a caravan or like a motorhome, and we would go down to the beach, and it's lovely. People might not believe this, but that was the first time I ever rode a horse. I was in Mexico, and I wanted to go see the pyramids. They have these pyramids in the middle of Mexico. I went to San Miguel Allende.
Okay.
And and we went out to this, me and my friend went out to this ranch, and and they gave us these horses. I was very scared. And 10 minutes into riding the horse, it was like a very freeing experience. You know? I felt like a cowboy. I wanted to go make a movie about cowboys. I've never been to Brazil. I would love to go to Brazil. I've never been to Asia.
Okay.
And Russia. So I'd like to do Brazil, Russia, and maybe Tokyo.